Celebrating the first ever Halloween more than 2,000 years ago, you would have been an ancient Celt. You would be fast approaching the start of a harsh and scary winter, and one that you and your loved ones may very well not survive. It's October 31st, the end of the harvest, and you would have called your Halloween Samhain. It was a time of celebration for a successful summer, and of a deep hope for a safer winter, but also a time of great caution, as everything was not as it seemed. You would believe that on this final night of Winter's Eve, that the thin boundary veil between the worlds of the living and the dead would come to be blurred. A tear in the very reality of life itself that would allow spirits and creatures to cross over into our world, and even the living into the realm of the dead. The fear was that either side could be trapped on the wrong side of the veil. Somewhere they didn't belong. The Celts also believed that the dead would cause trouble by destroying their crops. So, to protect yourselves from these spirits that would walk amongst you, you and your kin would light bonfires, burning your crops and animals as sacrifices. You would be wearing scary costumes made of animal heads and skin of your dying livestock. All of this was a DIY attempt to disguise yourselves from any malevolent entities coming from the other side. The Celts might have actually been onto something, though it wasn't ghosts that were damaging their crops. We now know that any crops left in the ground after November 1st would have been susceptible to a deadly type of mould. A mould that could kill your crops and your entire village if you weren't careful, especially the things that an average Celt would be growing, like rye, barley and fruit, and they would be susceptible to rotting from the inside. So if you actually weren't that careful and harvested some of this, it could corrupt your whole harvest, potentially ending the life of your entire village. So it was no joke. Samhain was something to warn the community of the dangers of leaving crops in the ground past November 1st. Meaning that these traditions actually do come from somewhere. They're not throwing it out the air. They just didn't have a word to describe it yet. Okay, so now we have the date and the origins of Halloween. We're just missing how it got the name.
If you want to see the rest of this story, check out the full video on my channel.